Yesterday I had some restricted holiday for some people. Don't have any major announcement to begin with, so I will open the floor for questions on various issues. My God, slowly. Siddhant, I did see you first. I'll go with you, but I'll come to you guys one by one. Please introduce yourself and the organization that you work
So Siddhant from Beyond, my question is, what's India's reaction to what's happening in the Taiwan Straits?
Okay.
We saw the military exercises by the Chinese, something which is seen as an aggressive action, which India also saw in 2020.
Anything related to that anybody has, so we'll take it one round. Okay, on Taiwan. Okay, please, I see you new.
I'm a reporter.
Please introduce yourself and organization.
I'm Emerson Lim. I'm a reporter from Taiwan.
Okay,
I'm based in Delhi.
okay.
There are about 5,000 to 10,000 Indians in Taiwan. Are there any repatriation plans of your government should the situation get worse? Thank you.
Repatriation plans, you said, right? Okay. Anybody else on that? Okay, please up.
सर मैं कविता हूँ हरिभूमि न्यूज़पेपर से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या भारत सरकार ने कनाडा की सरकार को
नहीं पहले ताइवान कर ले। I'll come back to you. एक साथ कर लेता हूँ ताकि Reza.
Reza from Hindustan Times. Given India's stated concerns about China's attempts to alter the status quo on the northern borders, how do we look at the Taiwan leadership's comments saying that China's actions amount to an effort to alter the status quo in that region, and their ambitions extend far beyond that region?
Okay. Sorry. Please, microphone.
This is Hu Xiaoming from Xinhua News Agency. So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has recently visited China's Taiwan region. So, more than 170 countries have expressed their support to One China principle. And India so far has not made any announcement. So what is India's position on One China principle? And what's your comment on Nancy Pelosi's visit to China?
Visit
Taiwan
or the One China?
One China principle. India's position, could you
that is the question.
clarify that?
Sure, got it. Okay,
Thank
thank you. Anybody else on Taiwan related, etc.? No, okay. So let me take that round of questions. I think there'll be interest. Look, on this issue, like many other countries, India too is concerned at recent developments. We urge the exercise of restraint, avoidance of unilateral actions to change the status quo, de-escalation of tensions, and efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region. India's relevant policies are well known and consistent. They do not require reiteration. Let me read this out in Hindi because I know a couple of you already are marking a Hindi one. कई अन्य देशों की तरह भारत भी हाल के घटनाक्रमों से चिंतित है। हम संयम बरतने और स्टेटस को बदलने के लिए यूनिलैटरल एक्शन से बचने, तनाव कम करने और क्षेत्र में शांति और स्थिरता बनाए रखने के प्रयासों का अनुरोध करते हैं। भारत की प्रासंगिक नीतियाँ वेल नोन है और कंसिस्टेंट है, सर्वविदित हैं, सुसंगत हैं, उन्हें पुनरावृत्ति की आवश्यकता नहीं है। I think that is what I would like to say in response to all the queries that you've asked. Moving on, is there any other topic on which I can? Okay, one by one. Please, Ashik, I'll start with you. I'll come to you.
Sir, Abhishek from CNN News 18. Sir, my question is regarding the latest placing on technical hold by Chinese side on the United Nations Security Council on one of the dreaded terrorists of Mohammed. What is India's response to that?
Fair enough. No, you had a question. I stopped you. Go ahead.
सर मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि क्या पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है इतिहास में कि भारत की सरकार ने कनाडा की सरकार को ये रिक्वेस्ट की है कि हमारे मिशन को सिक्योरिटी दी जाए 15 अगस्त को इंडिपेंडेंस डे सेलिब्रेशंस को मनाने के लिए? ऐसा
सॉरी फिर से पूछेंगे, पहली बार हो रहा है या नहीं?
मतलब ऐसा पहली बार है क्या कि भारत की सरकार की तरफ से कनाडा की सरकार को हमारे मिशन को सुरक्षा देने के लिए 15 अगस्त का जो आयोजन है उसको मनाने के लिए ऐसा कुछ?
समझ गया। या
Hi, this is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. Nepal's foreign minister was in China recently, and he met with Wang Yi, and it's learned that Wang Yi said that they're willing to invest close to $15 billion in developing infrastructure in Nepal. Is that a reason or a point of concern for India?
Okay. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir. This is Risha from CNN International. Sir, recently at Hambantota port, there was a controversy regarding a Chinese vessel, which China's Minister of Foreign Affairs have said that Sri Lanka has stopped because of India's pressure. What is India's stand on that? A. And B.
Could you repeat your question again? I know what you are referring to, but I want to know exactly what you're asking.
There's a Chinese vessel in Sri Lankan water which was supposed to be docked at Hambantota from 11th to 17th. It has not been docked. Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs have said that it's because of India's pressure on Sri Lanka. And it's related.
Okay. It better be related.
Okay. India and US is holding a joint exercise near LAC, and China has again said that this will be against the mutual agreement of 1996 between India and China. So what is India's stand on that?
Okay. Okay, let me take, unless there's something related. Anybody else? Sorry. No, later on? Okay, I'll come around to you. Okay, let me, you asked, I think, Abhishek, you asked about the technical hold. This is in the UN Security Council, right? Look, I think this is an issue on which I think a statement was made by our permanent representative just a little earlier. This was prior to the hold being made. Let me just emphasize that we note with regret that a technical hold has been placed on the listing proposal for Abdul Rauf Ashgar, I think is the name. I wanted to emphasize that it's unfortunate that when it comes to our collective battle against terrorism, the international community has been unable to speak in one common voice. As I mentioned, our permanent representative, the UN in New York, during the UN Security Council open debate on, I think, 9th of August, had flagged this concern categorically to all members, and I have it here, and I quote, "There should be no double standards in dealing with terrorists. The practice of placing holds and blocks without giving any justification must end. It is most regrettable that genuine and evidence-based listing proposals pertaining to some of the most notorious terrorists in the world are being placed on hold. Double standards and continuing politicization have rendered the credibility of the Sanctions Committee as a regime at an all-time low." End quote. As you're all aware, Abdul Rauf Ashgar, the Deputy Chief of Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is a UN-proscribed entity, was actively involved in terrorist attacks, such as hijacking of Indian Airlines IC-814 in 1998, as well as the terror attacks on the Indian Parliament in 2001, and the terror attacks at the Indian Army camp in Kathua in 2014, as well as the IAF base, Pathankot IAF base attack in 2016. He has been proscribed under both Indian and US laws already, and therefore the placing of this technical hold against such a wanted terrorist is most uncalled for. India will continue to pursue its principled position of bringing these terrorists to justice, including through the UN Security Council Resolution 1267 sanctions regime. Moving on to the issue of, I think there was a query on Canada. आप कह रहे थे, मैं आपका सवाल ठीक समझ नहीं आया. देखिए, हमारे दूतावासें जो विदेश में हैं उनकी सिक्योरिटी वगैरह, या हम कोई स्पेशल कोई इवेंट करते हैं जैसे 15 अगस्त 26 जनवरी या कोई भी और कोई इवेंट में, पब्लिक जैसे सुरक्षा रहे या लोग आए उनकी सुरक्षा के लिए, हम हमेशा लोकल गवर्नमेंट या लोकल पुलिस अथॉरिटीज़ को हम रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि सिक्योरिटी दे. ये तो स्टैंडर्ड है. कनाडा के स्पेसिफिक मुझे मालूम नहीं है, हमने उधर भी किया होगा हमारे हाई कमीशन ने, और ये हमारे कॉन्सुलेट्स जो हैं, ये कॉमन प्रैक्टिस है. और सिक्योरिटी हम हमेशा मानते हैं कि होस्ट गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करे, और हम उनसे कांटेक्ट में रहते हैं ताकि कोई भी ऐसे पब्लिक इवेंट या अदरवाइज ऑल्सो नॉर्मल हमारी जो कार्यक्रम में भी कुछ, ताकि वहाँ पे सुरक्षा बनी रहे हमारे दूतावासों की, हमारे जो वहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं उनके सारे एम्बेसी ऑफिशियल्स के लिए भी. Rishabh, your question was regarding this vessel that has somewhere in... Look, let me put it to you this. Also, I wanted to get a sense. We have seen certain comments. So I wasn't sure what exactly you had. You wanted to know whether this was raised or not raised. Look, without getting into that, I've seen general comments about it, that India has been, India should be doing this, or Sri Lanka has been pressured. Let me categorically say we reject the insinuations in such statements about India. Sri Lanka is a sovereign country and makes its own independent decisions. Insofar as India-Sri Lanka relations are concerned, you are aware, we've been talking about it, the centrality of Sri Lanka in our neighborhood first policy. This year itself, India has extended an unprecedented support of US $3.8 billion for ameliorating the serious economic situation facing the people of Sri Lanka. India is also fully supportive of Sri Lanka's democracy, stability, and economic recovery. And regard to our security concerns, there were some comments that said, look, this is a sovereign right of each country. We will make the best judgment in our own interest. This naturally takes into account the prevailing situation in the region, especially in our border areas. And insofar as in the context of India and China that you had raised, we have consistently maintained the necessity of mutual respect, mutual sensitivity, and mutual interests as the basis of development of ties. I think I'll leave it at that. Yashi, your question was on Nepal Foreign Minister's visit. Look, I would not comment on countries or third countries. We obviously, our relations with Nepal are unique, and I don't need to highlight that. They stand on their own merit, and I wouldn't like to comment on what has been discussed or what could be investment. I think in the India-Nepal relations, particularly our economic and connectivity and our people-to-people ties are very special. And as you saw with the recent visit of from high-level visits on both sides actually this year, is a good example of the kind of strong linkages that we are seeking to strengthen. Of course, if there is any activity which impinges on the defense or security aspects, the government is always cognizant of that, keeps an eye on it, and takes necessary measures against that. Okay, any further questions? Okay, let's start with you.
कादम्बरी शर्मा फ्रॉम एनडीटीवी इंडिया। न्यूयॉर्क में एक भारतीय मनदीप कौर की खुदकुशी से मौत हुई है। उनके परिवार का कहना है कि जल्द से जल्द उनके शव को यहाँ लाया जाए, तो उसमें भारतीय कॉन्सुलेट या MEA क्या कर रहा है? और दूसरी चीज़, क्या किसी प्रकार की जो परपेट्रेटर हैं उनके हस्बैंड, क्या उनके खिलाफ कोई क्रिमिनल एक्शन के लिए भी मदद कर रहा है?
There were some other hands. Yeah, please.
Polemy from India Today. My question is about, there have been reports about these meetings that India has had political dialogue with the NATO on the sidelines of Raisina dialogue in 2019 and 2020. How is India engaging with NATO?
Your question is that, right? The first one was a comment. Okay, one second. Please.
I'm Elena from TASS News Agency, Russian news agency. My question is on supplies of Russian oil to India. I may suppose that you can say that it's the question to the Minister of Oil, but
let me hear you first.
I think, yes, now I think this is already the question of diplomatic sphere. So, as we know, G7 countries aiming to place into effect this price cap mechanism on Russian oil by 5th of December. So my question is, do you feel any kind of pressure from Western countries during meetings, during negotiations to your colleague from Western countries on this issue on price cap mechanism? And do you expect that this pressure, if it really exists, may increase by the 5th of December?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there was some other hand somewhere. Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm Sahil from ANI. So there are reports coming in that Prime Minister Modi and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif might meet during SCO summit. What's your take on that, sir?
Okay. Any other questions? I'll take this round of questions. I think the first one was regarding the suicide that has happened in Kadambari. As we mentioned about that, I don't know how to reported ये बहुत दुख की घटना हुई है, ट्रैजिक सुसाइड। मनदीप कौर जी इंडियन नेशनल न्यूयॉर्क में रहते थे। हमारी जो कौंसल आवास है न्यूयॉर्क में, वो लोकल अथॉरिटीज़ और पुलिस के साथ कांटेक्ट में है। इंडियन कम्युनिटी के साथ भी वो हैं और फैमिली मेम्बर्स जो हैं मनदीप कौर जी के, उनके साथ भी कांटेक्ट में हैं। हमारी एम्बेसी वाशिंगटन डीसी में जो है, वो उन्होंने भी ये केस वहाँ के जो यूएस फेडरल गवर्नमेंट के अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उनके साथ भी कांटेक्ट में है, उनके साथ भी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। एंड उन्होंने हमें आश्वासन दिया है यूएस अथॉरिटीज़ ने कि जो भी अप्रोप्रिएट एक्शन उनके लॉज के तहत है वो लिया जाएगा। हमारी एम्बेसी और हमारी कॉन्सुलेट न्यूयॉर्क में ये हमारे जो एफर्ट्स हैं उसको लगातार करते रहेंगे ताकि इसमें एक थरो इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो और पता चले कि क्या क्या हुआ है इसमें, और जो नेसेसरी सहायता है फैमिली मेम्बर्स को वो भी देते रहेंगे। वो क्लोज कांटेक्ट में है इंडिया में जो फैमिली है, और वहाँ पे भी हमारी एम्बेसी उनसे संपर्क में है। Follow me on the issue of you asked about NATO, right? As I said, you made some comments. I'm not going to get into that. Let me just say that India and NATO have kept in touch in Brussels at different levels for quite some time now. This is part of our contacts with various stakeholders on global issues of mutual interest. Sahil, I'll come to you in a second. Sahil, आपका प्रश्न था yeah, look, on this one you are speculating very much. I don't think we have announced the visit either of Prime Minister yet, or any possible meetings or other things that he would may be doing at that point. Such high-level visits are announced at the appropriate time, and I certainly don't have anything to share with you at this point. On the issue of oil, Eliana, look, I won't pass you to the Ministry of Oil, Petroleum and Natural Gas. That I will on technical details if you want to know, or exact discussions. Let me emphasize two things that we have been saying, nothing new. Our decisions on what we do regarding purchase of oil or other things related to that will be guided by our energy security requirements. Our perspective will be guided by energy security. So that we have been saying, and we'll continue to follow that and pursue that. Insofar as any price cap proposal is there, I'm not aware of it. I know there were some discussions generally about it. I've seen some reports on it. But as I think Foreign Secretary or External Affairs Minister, one of occasions, I think Foreign Secretary himself said there's no question of any pressure on such issues. And I certainly would not be able to agree on that idea that there is pressure on these such issues. On the specific element of price cap, there are technical discussions. I don't know. That I would refer you to the Petroleum Ministry part. But as I said, I'm not aware of any particular proposal or specific proposal that has been, at least to the Ministry of External Affairs. So I wouldn't like to speculate on, hence the pressure increasing or reducing, etc. Okay, if there are no further, there are some questions. Okay, Stranger, go ahead.
Sir, there's always already been talk of this Chinese ship in Hambantota. At the same time, we are hearing that perhaps on the 15th of August, the Indian government will hand over a Dornier maritime surveillance aircraft to Sri Lanka. I'm told the MEA is also in this. So could you tell us a little about it, please?
Sorry, didn't get the chance. How is it linked to the first one?
No.
First part of it was related to a ship, you said.
Yeah. So at this time, while on the ship,
okay, general. Okay,
business
fair
was
enough.
going
Noted.
on,
Okay.
you
Any
are
other
looking
query?
at,
I got it.
the handing over.
Yeah, please.
So Sandhya, so quick question around the FTA with Taiwan. Any update you would like to share? Thanks.
Okay, please.
Sir, Shahid Siddiqui from Sargona today. So is the 19th Interpol General Assembly date has been announced?
You are asking me or you making a statement?
No, I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Okay. No other questions? Good. We'll close it with that. Shinja, as I highlighted to you our position on the Chinese vessel and reports on that, I have nothing to share on any proposal on 15th August or Dornier or otherwise. If I have, we'll come back to you. On the FTA on Taiwan, sadly, no, I don't have any update. As you know, we have been working hard on FTAs with a number of partners. which including, I think you just saw UAE, there's work going on with the UK, etc., Australia. If I have an update, I'll come back to you on this one. Shahid, on the issue of, yes, it's our turn to host it, but I'm not sure. I think we're working on some dates, but as soon as it's finalized, it's not actually, we are not the lead agency on this, and we'll have to check. I think with MEA will be the agency. I don't have yet a confirmation of the dates. I know certain dates are being worked around, but as soon as we are in a position to share that publicly, I'll note that. We'll come back to it. Okay, thank you very much for joining us for this briefing. Have a great weekend, as well as the 75th anniversary of independence. Happy Independence Day.